I haven't been posting too regularly since I've been busy mastering and learning the various facets of technical analysis. And what I've found is when it gets coupled with fundamental analysis, the results can be very astonishing and powerful. I'm going to discuss the example of Escorts Ltd, which manufactures heavy machinery and tractors, all required for agricultural and construction purposes. As you guys know, agriculture was an essential business during the lockdown. It remained open. A lot of positive measures came from the side of the government for the agricultural sector, and that's why a lot of smart money flowed into companies like Escorts, Mahindra & Mahindra, and BST tillers and tractors. It got Escorts Limited on my radar, and I looked at the charts. I looked through the prism of technical analysis, and I wanted to find out whether there was anything that I could take advantage on, and I'm going to share it with you guys.
Alright, this is an hourly chart of Escorts Limited. These are the lows on 19th March and 23rd March, when the impact of the coronavirus on market has been at its peak. This stock should be on a trader's radar because you see a divergence in price versus the RSI. I'm going to make it clearer for you. The price has made a low, whereas the RSI has risen. This is a regular bullish divergence hinting towards a price increase in the future. Once we're done with that, we realize that the stock has taken resistance at these levels. And naturally, once this level of resistance is breached, it now becomes support. This is the very basic facet of technical analysis. And now again, a trader wishing to buy into Escorts Limited believes since these levels are not breached, I can probably buy. And let's see whether he could have made wiser decisions later. The stock now began its uptrend, and you can see the stock has been touching the trend line at all points, and these are points of potential purchase. So you could have purchased your stock here, you could have also purchased it here, and you could have made purchases at this level. Now when the stock has reached levels of 1,000 rupees, you sort of notice a complex head and shoulders pattern forming with this the head and these the shoulders. So since you see this pattern forming, you know this is a sign of bearish reversal, and you should be very careful, or trader should be very careful. You connect the lows and that makes your neckline. Of course, you do not initiate shorting of the stock unless the neckline has been breached. At these levels, the neckline has indeed been breached. We see a pullback to the neckline, which is often the case in about half the head and shoulders patterns. And since the neckline has not been able to be breached, this is further confirmation of a bearish tendency. Therefore, traders could have sold their stock at 980 levels and covered their profits at 934, which is around 50 rupees, a brilliant profit. How would you know whether to cover your stock at these levels? Because the stock had taken support at 935 earlier, hadn't it? And this became the new support as well. Now, another support level which is interesting is this, because the stock had again taken support. And because it had taken support earlier at levels of roughly 955, that now becomes its resistance. On Friday, due to immense buying, once this resistance of 955, once this resistance of 934, which was earlier the support, is breached, you have to maintain a bullish tendency. Perhaps buy here, or if you've missed out, buy at levels of 955 and cover your profits at 983, another 30 rupees. Brilliant stuff. How do you know you have to cover at 980 levels? Because the stock had earlier also taken resistance at these levels. So these levels were resistances earlier and continue to act as resistances now. And of course, we are going to mark some support levels. Stock had taken support here. The stock had taken support here. and the stock had taken support here. So with this, you can sort of predict where the market is gonna head. Now on Monday, if Escorts is to breach levels of 984, the next resistance would be 1,000 rupees. But if it's unable to breach these levels, you have to adopt a bearish tendency depending on where the market is headed, and the target would be 955. Very clean price action in place. Let me know if this helped you out, and let's see where we can go with this. It's all new to me as well, and we're on a journey.